Hey everyone, so you're thinking about buying a home in Florida? Well, you are in exactly the right place. Today, we're going to break down one of the most critical steps in that whole journey, the home inspection. Let's just dive right in. All right, so you've found it, the house that looks perfect. The paint is fresh, the lawn is beautiful, but there's always that nagging question, right? What's hiding in plain sight? What potential problems are lurking just behind the drywall or under the floorboards? The best way, really the only way to answer that question is with a home inspection. And I want you to think of it just like this. It's an X-ray for your future home. It's this non-invasive way to get a really deep, comprehensive look at what's truly going on beneath the surface. So what is it officially? Well, it's a thorough, top-to-bottom examination of the property's bones. We're talking its structure, its systems, and all its key components. And listen, this isn't an amateur hour. It's always conducted by a licensed professional who knows exactly what they're looking for. Now, don't think this is just some quick 20-minute walkthrough. A proper inspection is going to take somewhere between 2 and 4 hours. And here's a huge pro tip. You should absolutely plan to be there. Being on site lets you ask questions in the moment and see any potential issues with your own 2 eyes. Okay, so what does this process actually cover? Let's kick things off with the standard checkup, where we'll look at everything that gets inspected in a typical home. From the roof all the way down to the foundation. And trust me, it is comprehensive. The inspector will literally get on the roof and crawl into the attic, checking for stuff like age, leaks, and proper ventilation. They'll examine the foundation and the structure, the very skeleton of the house. They'll test the electrical and plumbing systems from the main panel to the pipes. They'll fire up the HVAC, check if the windows and doors have proper seals, and even test the built-in appliances that are coming with the sale. It's a full physical. But buying a home in Florida isn't quite like buying one anywhere else. The sun, the humidity, the storms, they all create some pretty unique challenges. And that's where we get into Florida's special tests, which really show why the Sunshine State is a whole different ball game. Now pay close attention, because these specialized inspections can directly impact your bottom line. A 4-point inspection looks at the 4 big systems. For insurance companies, this is non-negotiable. They'll want to see a roof with at least a few years of life left, and they'll definitely flag problematic electrical systems. Then there's the wind mitigation report. This checks for features like hurricane shutters or specific roof-to-wall connections. Having these can literally save you thousands on your insurance premium. A WDO inspection, that's for wood-destroying organisms, is almost always required by your lender. And it's not just for termites, but for things like wood rot, too. And in a humid state like Florida, a mold test is absolutely critical, as it can uncover health hazards you can't even see. So, the crucial point here is this. Don't think of these as optional extras. In Florida, they are totally essential. They are the key to getting your insurance, securing your financing, and, most importantly, giving you real peace of mind that your investment is sound. Okay, the inspector has packed up and left, and that detailed report is now sitting in your inbox. So, what now? Well, that brings us to the most powerful part of the process, what you do after the report. This is all about understanding your power and what your options are. First things first, you need to know that the clock is ticking. Your contract will specify an inspection period, and that deadline is strict. This is your one and only window to act on what the inspector found before you're locked in. You have 4 main paths you can take. 1, you can ask the seller to make specific repairs. 2, you can negotiate for a credited closing or a price reduction to cover the cost of repairs yourself. 3, if the issues are pretty minor, you can just decide to accept the property as is. Or 4, if the problems are just too big, you have the right to walk away and get your deposit back. You are in control here. We've covered a ton, but I want to end on the single most important piece of advice in this entire process. Let's just call it the golden rule. It's the one move you should absolutely never ever make. In a competitive market, you might get tempted to make your offer look better by waiving the inspection. Let me be crystal clear. As real estate expert Carlos puts it, this is one of the highest risk moves you can make. You're essentially buying a property completely blind. It really is that simple. Do not waive the inspection. The few $100s you spend on it could save you from a $100,000 mistake. It is the best money you will spend in the entire home buying process, period. Look, the home inspection isn't about finding flaws to kill a deal. It's about gaining knowledge so you can make a confident decision. It's your X-ray, your peek behind the curtain. So the only question left is, are you ready to look beneath the surface?